Were you guys able to find some of the reasons why Mr. Rogers did some of the tactics during the television visits, such as the model in the opening, and then it goes to his house, and then having a trolley go to the neighborhood of make believe, and having human characters in a make believe world? Were you guys able to find anything with maybe some of those examples?
Well, we can tell you generally that Fred Rogers worked with some of the top minds of his era, some of the top minds of his generation. When he came to study at the University of Pittsburgh, he worked with Dr. Benjamin Spock, who was one of the most famous pediatricians to ever live. His book is still on the bestseller list 50 years later. He worked with Erik Erikson, who's a famous psychologist, and most importantly, he worked with Margaret McFarland, who is a psychiatry professor at Pitt and Rogers' mentor for her entire life. Rogers had incredible people around him, incredible scientists helping him devise every aspect of the neighborhood. And like Greg said, he was very deliberate. Max King writes in his book of sometimes he would stop a shoot in the middle of production and he would walk down the street from WQED to Pitt to check something with Margaret McFarland, make sure he had the word just right. So again, everything he did, all of his designs, all of his sets, every script, every lyric was constantly being informed by these brilliant minds around him. And Fred himself was a brilliant scientist.
Well, and I think too, when we think about the land of make-believe, it wasn't a land of a place you can approach. It was a place to practice, right? It was a place to learn about creativity. It was a place to learn about curiosity, a place where you could be safe and ask big questions, but then to come back into that living room and say, let's talk about what it is that we just learned. Let's notice other things that are like that. In fact, let's go on a field trip to something that's similar. So in many ways, that land of make-believe wasn't something far-fetched. It was a place to practice ideas and to learn.